Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I'm having one of my homemade oatmeal biscuits, or cookies as they call them in the United States and Canada and other countries. And a cup of coffee as well. I'll just finish this last bit. I will have to do some more videos on my shopping and cooking channel because I never made those cookies for a lot of years. I used to make them for my kids when they were young, they loved them. In fact, you couldn't make enough. They were waiting for them coming out of the oven when, and I used to say, you'll have to wait till they cool down. But I used to make almond cookies and coconut cookies and a lot of things like that, so I'd forgotten all about those till I was looking on the internet the other day and I saw that someone else doing the oatmeal cookies. So the future you're going to be one or two more sweet biscuit type things. You call them cookies. We've always called them biscuits. We've never called them cookies in this year until quite recently, but I think that's come over from the United States, the name cookie, because we've always just called them biscuits. But anyway, I have a little bit more information today about my Google Ireland account. I've been in touch with the solicitor today to try to get it sorted out, because there is no way I am going to pay that tax and then have to claim it back off HMRC. And as Ireland's tax, Southern Ireland's tax is 23%, I'll only get 20% back, so I'm still paying 3% to Ireland. And you know that solicitor, I was just on the telephone, I just picked a local one out on my Yellow Pages and found one local not far from where I live. So I just rang him up. He hadn't a clue about it. He'd never come across it before. And he first said to me, he says, well, why didn't you, he says, do you have a do you drive? I says, yes. You have a current driving licence? I says, yes, I have a driving licence. I have to change it every 3 years, but I do have a licence. So he says, well, send that in. I says, I have. They won't accept it. What about your passport? I says, do you have a passport? I says, yes, they won't accept that either. I says, it actually tells you on the Adsense account that they don't accept driving licenses or passports or corporate letters, which are like a business type, to do with the business thing. And I went through every single thing, telling him what I had sent in and what they would accept. They would accept some things, but then after a few hours, I got another email telling me they wanted more information. They wouldn't accept some things. They accepted my national insurance card. I sent a photo of that. They accepted it, but then about a day later, asking for more information. So I just don't know what more information they want. They ask for government ID. I mean, what is your driving licence and your passport is government ID? And I told him everything. We went through every single thing that I had sent in, and he was just at a loss. He couldn't understand it either. And he suggested something I had thought was my last resort, because I told him about YouTube and about being self-employed, and I fill in my self-assessment things, and he says, the only thing I can suggest is you fill in your self-assessment taxing. I said, well, I was going to do that. I says, I always do it beginning of May, as soon as, I get the letter from HMRC telling me it's time to fill in your tax returns. I says, I usually always do it by the beginning of May. I do it straight away. But he said, well, do that and then send them a copy and see what happens from that. And I said, well, actually, that was my last resort. That's what I was going to do, but that's what I was ringing up to ask if it was worth me doing that. And he said, it's the only thing he can suggest. And he said to me, if it is accepted and you get it sorted like that, he says, let me know, because he says, I'm sure I'm going to have other people ringing me up asking about that, because he said he had no idea about it himself. So if a solicitor doesn't know what to do, what hope have us ordinary folk? But anyway, I have finished the little cardigan. I'll have a drink of my coffee. I finished the little cardigan and I'm now onto the blanket, and that's how far I've got with it. But I have made just a little video to show you better what the cardigan actually looks like, because when I hold it up, so if I was just holding it on here, you don't see all the little dots of colour that's in it. And I've done the little video and got really close so you can see the much better what those little colours look like close up on the cardigan, and a little bit better view of the blanket I'm doing. So I'm going to stop this video and start that one. So that's the little cardigan for the girl twin. I had an awful job picking the right buttons for it, because as you can see, the colours in it, there are peach, pale pink, a deeper pink, and the cardigan is sort of like an off-white in between. But they look peachy, the buttons, but they're actually pink. They get further away, they look more natural. So I decided those ones are going to have to do. So that's the cardigan finished. And now I just need to finish the baby blanket. It's about a third of the way. I think I've done about 10 inches up on it. So it'll not take me much longer to finish this, because I am spending all day when I'm sitting in the house on it to get it finished, and then I can send it off to the United States. That's a better look when it's flattened out. As you can see the pattern, and it's reversible. That's what I like about some of these patterns, are all my own patterns that I make. But this one I've done on 7mm needles instead of the last one I did on, the last few I did on 8mm. But this is quite, wool is just a little bit thicker than other stuff I've used. I could have used 8mm on it and it would have been knitted quicker probably, but because this pattern does pull in when you're knitting, with them having the stitches like this and that, it does pull in a little bit. So when you pull it out, it's quite longer to what it should be, but the pattern pulls it in. So anyway, it'll not be long before that's finished and I can get them all sent off to the United States, to Dagry. So that's what the little cardigan looks like, and you can see the little bits of colour in it much better when I went really close up on the video. But now I am knitting as fast as I can. As soon as I get this finished, this blanket, I'll be able to parcel it all up and get it sent off to Dagry, and I think it's going to be quite a large parcel actually, because I have 2 other blankets that I've done. This one's going to make it 3, and then there's all the little cardigans that I've done to put in that parcel as well. So I think it's going to be a lot bigger and heavier than the normal ones I send. So anyway, that'll be one thing off my mind, and then I can get on with all the other things that I have. I have been paid for 1 or 2 things that are to do with the crochet and the bags and notion pouches and things like that. I can get on with those things, which I'll be doing in the morning. I'll spend at least about 2 hours in the morning doing crochet things. In the afternoon I'll be back on with Derek's. And then on the night time, I'll spend on mine. I might get my own cardigan finished. This is what happens every time I'm knitting something for myself. It keeps getting put on the back burner. And my last one took me over 2 years but get it finished. And I'm not going to end up like that again, because I am desperately in need of new cardigans. I do have a few like this. This is a bought one. I didn't knit this one myself. As you can see, it's very fine, but it's fine, it's thin. That's what I like in the summer, because the ones I knit myself, unless I use very thin wool, which will take me an awful lot longer than what it takes to knit double knitting, they're too heavy for the summer. So that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully I'll get my own finish, and then I can do some of the little cardigans to finish off my patterns, because I have 2 children's patterns that I only have a couple of sizes left to do on each one to get finished. And this will be another baby blanket. This was actually a cardigan I did for myself quite some time ago, and as I can see, it is reversible. And I did a cardigan for myself with this, but I only wear it, it's cardigan, even though it is double knit, it's quite heavy. I do wear it in the summer because it only has 3/4 sleeves. The sleeves only come up to my elbows on it, because I didn't have enough of the wool to finish it to do long sleeves. So I ended up doing shorter sleeves on it. But I only wear it when it's not, I can't wear it when it's too hot. Even when it's wearing it too hot, I don't wear any cardigan at all. I just wear t-shirts. But anyway, go on with this, get this finished. But I will be doing this one, like I'm saying, will be another baby blanket pattern. But I'm going to think of some other ones, because what you actually have to write in this one, here I have the baby blanket here, I have it written down. It's a garter rib baby blanket, and there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. That's all I have to put in for how to do this pattern. There'll be a couple more rows of finishing off and what else you do. So it's not very much, you know, to get people to pay for a pattern. I like a little bit more. That's my last pattern, had 3 baby blankets on it. So I'm going to work out maybe it's 1 or 2 more baby blankets, and maybe it's just do a little swatch of the pattern to put on the, not because it'll not be a full baby blanket, it'll just be a swatch to show what other patterns I might add on to it, that what it would look like when it was done. So anyway, it's not so nice today, you know. It is sunny today, but I've went out my back garden and it is quite soggy, the soil. Or as we say up in the northeast here in Geordie language, the soil is a bit too claggy. It'll be sticking to the spade. I can't do much. And all the weeds and everything that I have to pull out are wet with all the rain we had yesterday. So I'm going to have to wait a couple of days for it to dry out before I do anything in my garden. But the temperature has dropped by about 10 degrees, or more like 8 to 10, something like that. I think the other day when I was out in the garden, it was about 20, I think it got up to 22 degrees where I live. And the next day it was down to 14, and it's down to 13 today. But it doesn't feel like, it feels a lot warmer in my garden, because my garden is enclosed with it having a high fence all the way around, and then we have a lot of trees all around the bottom and that, and it is always a bit warmer in my garden than what the temperature actually tells you. But it's just a little bit too wet at the moment. The sun is shining now, it'll probably start drying up pretty quick. I might be able to get out tomorrow. But I very much doubt whether I'll be doing anything tomorrow, because I'll be going to bingo tomorrow night, and I don't want to have to keep, you know, I was in the shower in the morning. I don't want to have to go in again before I go out. So that's it anyway for today. I'm going to sit and do what I can of this blanket and get it finished as quickly as possible. So give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.